Hey guys, this is the Anime Fiend and welcome back to my video series Manga Recommendations. And today, of course, we're gonna talk about the legendary, one of the best, if not the best manga of all time, made by none other than the legendary late great Kentaro Miura. I'm, of course, talking about Berserk. Now, of course, when I talk about Berserk, I might say watch sometimes by mistake, but make no mistake, I am talking about the manga. Anime, some might be better than the other. Of course, there are multiple iterations, some might be better than the other, but yeah, none of those are even close to the greatness of the manga. So yeah, we are definitely talking about just manga. Yeah, some series out there when I recommend, it's like it's your choice. You could either read or watch, but this one definitely read. I'm sorry. Just read. If you're just anime only, I'm sorry, man. This might not be for you. But of course, before getting into that, of course, this is manga recommendation video, so you don't have to worry about spoilers or anything. So this is just a recommendation, right? This is why you should read Berserk, right? So yeah, don't worry about any spoilers. This is for the new guys, and if you have already read and still are watching this video, awesome, man. Thank you. But of course, this is for the new guys, and well, let's get into it, man. Now, Berserk is a cruel, violent action manga set in a fantastical world, right? Of course, you'll see visually striking landscapes, you'll see, like, you know, dangerous, horrifying monstrosities. You'll see this cruel, brutal, setting of humankind, how bad they could be, how crazy, how ruthless and vicious humanity could be. And amidst all these, we'll get to see our main character, the brooding, dark, dangerous, powerful, and legendary swordsman that, when you look at him, you'll just know this guy is, the badass of the badass. He's just the craziest of the craziest. And even amidst all these monsters, all these cruelty, this guy is somehow even more dangerous, even more deadly. And this story is basically his story, and him ripping out all of these monstrosities and destroying everything in his path for his goal. Basically, what goal? Yeah, that's a spoiler. I'm not gonna give you that, but yeah, for some goal, he's doing all these crazy things, defeating all these monsters. Right now, that is the base of Berserk. Now, this is the reality of Berserk, right? Even in the story itself, and even in our world, when you look at Berserk from the outside view, of course, not as a reader, but from the outside view, you'll see this crazy story with violence and whatever, and even the main character is this crazy dude who does like revenge and all that, like macho man kind of shit, right? So there's nothing deep about it. It's just like violence and crazy shit and craziness happening, right? Of course, again, as always, as it's true for everything, there are shades of gray. And Berserk, with this almost fantastical, crazy, impossible story, it shows the most human story, right? It shows the most true, the most real story of all. Like, when I made the video for Monster, of course, I gave the same example, right? When I said, like, Berserk uses these fantastical elements to show how, like, crazy humans could go. And of course, Monster shows exactly humans and, all the possible scenarios, and shows how, like, truly terrifying humans could be. And that's why Monster excels, right? But again, make no mistake that I'm not saying Berserk is, inferior to that, right? Because it's showing these fantastical, impossible elements and showing how humanity would react, right? But I mean, Berserk in its own way is also showing a truly superior story, a truly superior version of the same thing, or I guess you could say a similar situation, right? A similar scenario of humanity. Basically, it's all about humanity, its goals, its struggles, and how it you know basically you could say it's a story of perseverance and stuff, right? So Guts, of course, again, this character who's like super crazy. I mean, the first panel of the manga is like crazy, right? So you'll almost see him as this impossible, immovable, crazy force, but you'll know the intricacies of his character as you go through the struggles he's struggling, of course, the pain he has, his past. As slowly you get to peel away at the onion, right? You get to see his true self, and by the end of the manga, let me just tell you, I mean, if you don't think Guts is the greatest, or at least one of the greatest characters of all time, yeah, you're probably lying to yourself, or maybe you just don't like anyone similar to that, right? So I guess that's a different case. But if you like those kind of characters, and you don't like Guts, then yeah, you're basically lying to yourself. So this story, again, like many other great awesome stories, have many different interpretations. You could interpret a thing in multiple ways, you could see things in different ways, and come to your own conclusion about what moral of the story or what the author is trying to convey, right? But the absolute truth about the story is, by showing all these fantastical, crazy, impossible things, it could show you the truth of what the situation is, right? Of course, by exposing the extremes, you might not always face the extremes, but when you look at these extremes, you might look at it and learn, right? You might learn, like, okay, this shit is absolute extreme, and we need to learn from it, that how we could persevere, how we could face that shit. Of course, it might be impossible and never happen, but still, you could see you could peel off the facade of a story, of a situation, and look at it in a true way. You could see the truth of humanity, like basically what Joker said, right? In extreme situations, people act like who they actually are, right? I'm pretty sure that's not the exact quote, but yeah, it's basically something like that. So yeah, this is a story about that, right? So I mean, I don't want to spoil anything else about it, and yeah, I'm not that intellectually superior to explain it even more with even more panache and whatnot. But whatever, right? But this is the story of Berserk, man. So if you decided to read Berserk, and are watching a bunch of videos about Berserk before starting it, and stumbled upon my video, and if this even improved a little bit of your perception on Berserk, and you're starting to read it, then I'm the happiest man. So just comment down about whatever your experience of Berserk and whatnot. If you already read it, and you just love Berserk, just comment down and whatnot. But yeah, if you think the video is good, like, share, subscribe. Check out my other manga recommendations. I made a few. Of course, there are not a lot, but a lot are gonna come, of course. Yes, I'm gonna make this a long running series, right? So don't worry about that, and I hope you actually like my recommendations, right? So yeah, whatever. Just so anyways, as always, until next time, peace.